The new season of the Umbrella Academy is here, but do you remember what happened in the last season? If you don't remember, no worries. I'm going to recap the entire season with important details in just 10 minutes. In the last season, we learned the secret behind Reginald Hargreeves' death, number 7 aka Vanya's powers and power level, and about the commission. This season focuses on time traveling to the past, the truth about Reginald Hargreeves, and the Kennedy assassination. How the Umbrella Academy is involved in every detail of the apocalyptic event. So, friends, today I'm going to give you a recap of Season 2 of the Umbrella Academy. You'll get a 10-hour season summarized in just 15 minutes with important details. The chapters below mark each episode. So before we start the video, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon. Keeping in mind the spoilers, let's begin. Episode 1 starts with Five's time travel, which goes awry. The siblings are scattered between February 1960 and October 1963, but they all land in Dallas. Five arrives on November 26, 1963, just minutes before a nuclear bomb is about to fall on the world. He travels back 10 days with Hazel and realizes that the nuclear attack is connected to JFK not being dead. Now, the siblings have 10 days to save the world. Meanwhile, 3 Swedish assassins, Otto, Axel, and Oscar, arrive and shoot Hazel. Before dying, Hazel puts a film roll in Five's pocket. Five then ends up at the house of a man named Elliot, who decides to help him. We then find out what the other siblings are up to. Luther is a bodyguard for a man named Jack Ruby. Diego is in a mental institution and wants to prevent JFK's assassination. Allison's throat has healed, and she has married a civil rights activist named Ray. Klaus is a cult leader, and Vanya has forgotten everything and lives with a married couple named Sissy and Carl, taking care of their son Harlan. Avoiding the Swedish assassins, Diego escapes with his friend and fellow inmate Lila. Five finds Luther at Ruby's club and tries to explain everything, but Luther refuses to help. 3 months after being shot by Hazel, the handler returns to the commission, only to find that her boss, a talking fish named AJ, has removed her from her position. Carl is drunk at Ruby's club, and Vanya goes to get him. Luther sees her. At Elliot's house, Five, Diego, and Lila watch the film that Hazel hid in Five's pocket. Before dying, Diego and Five see Reginald holding an umbrella in Dealey Plaza, possibly at the time of JFK's assassination. Ray is arrested by the police. He and Klaus meet in jail, and soon after, Klaus is released. When Allison visits Ray in jail, she notices someone with a tattoo similar to Klaus's. Luther goes to Sissy's farm and apologizes to Vanya. Vanya does not recognize him, and he leaves. Diego and Five sneak into Reginald's company and find a young pogo. Diego and Reginald fight, and Reginald stabs Diego and leaves. Episode 3 begins with a scene at Elliot's house, where Lila saves Diego's life, and they become intimate. Vanya goes outside at night, where the Swedish assassins catch her and shoot at her. She stops them with her powers. In the morning, Five searches for Vanya and explains everything to her, noticing that Vanya's powers are still suppressed. Allison meets Klaus, who sends Ben to scare the police so they release Ray. Ray learns that Luther is searching for Allison, and seeing Luther's feelings for Allison, he leaves. This is the time when people in America are fighting against discrimination, and Allison joins a protest supporting civil rights for African Americans. Klaus meets Dave, a Vietnam War veteran, at a paint store. Klaus tells him about the Kennedy assassination and Dave's involvement in it. Ray continues the protest, but all the protesters are arrested. Before escaping with Allison, she uses her powers to stop the police from beating Ray. But Ray, seeing this, runs away. Lila leaves Diego at a hotel, where it is revealed she works for the commission and that the handler is her adoptive mother. Before returning to Diego, the handler tells Lila to protect Five at all costs. Vanya learns that she herself caused the original apocalypse without revealing her powers to Ray, who leaves. Allison then searches for Luther, who warns her about the coming apocalypse. Lila and Five attend an event where Reginald is present. Diego meets Grace, who is now a human, not a robot, and has a romantic relationship with Reginald. The Swedish assassins attack, and the 3 fight them, but Reginald escapes during the battle. Lila saves Five, and Diego is left to fight the Swedish assassins alone. Meanwhile, Vanya talks about leaving, which Harlan overhears, and he leaves on his own. Vanya follows him, finds Harlan's toy, and saves him using her powers, realizing that if she leaves, Harlan might die. Therefore, Vanya stays. After failing to stop Dave from joining the army, Klaus spends the night at Allison's house. At Elliot's house, Luther, under the influence of nitrous oxide, tells Elliot that the apocalypse is coming. Episode 4 shows Vanya becoming intimate with Sissy. At Elliot's house, Luther tells Five and Diego that when he arrived in Dallas, he went to the academy and Reginald drove him away, saying he hated children and would never adopt Seven. The three siblings meet the others and explain what is going on. Together, they search for Reginald, assuming he came to Dallas to save JFK. Five expels Lila from the group. Lila, working with the handler, brings Five to an abandoned warehouse. The Swedish assassins pursue Diego with a knife, but it's a trap, and one of them, Oscar, is killed. Vanya starts distancing herself from the Cooper family upon learning that Sissy and Carl are becoming intimate. Luther and Diego receive an invitation to dine with Reginald. Klaus reveals the truth to Ray quickly. Episode 6. In the warehouse, the handler tells Five that if he kills the commission board members during their quarterly meeting, she will send his family safely to 2019. The six siblings receive an invitation to dinner with Reginald, where they try to explain their current situation. Allison shows Ray her powers. Diego tells Grace that Reginald is planning to kill JFK, and Carl sees Sissy, Vanya, and Carl becoming intimate in the car. The handler, claiming that Diego killed their brother, convinces the remaining Swedish assassins to kill Elliot. They write eye for an eye in his blood. Meanwhile, Five agrees to the handler's deal. In Episode 7, after killing the commission board, Five has 90 minutes to reunite with his siblings and return to the normal timeline. The handler takes control of the commission. Vanya decides to take Sissy and Harlan with her, and Allison decides to take Ray. As Ray and Allison are about to leave, the remaining two Swedish assassins attack them. Allison uses her powers to force Axel to leave, who then departs. Klaus allows Ben to possess his body so he can talk to a cult member he has fallen in love with. Ben is happy to reunite with his brother Diego, but Klaus then leaves his body. Sissy and Harlan are stopped by some police officers, and Sissy tells Vanya that she left a note for her card before leaving. Vanya fights the police officers with her powers, but they knock her out. The siblings cannot gather in time, so Five is forced to throw the time-traveling briefcase, which takes him to a new timeline. Since the FBI building wasn't destroyed, the parade continued, and JFK was assassinated. Diego catches Reginald, but it's a body double. The real Reginald goes to M12, a secret scientific group responsible for the Kennedy assassination. They threaten to reveal Reginald's secrets, but he reveals his alien form and kills them. In the commission, a monitor notices strange things. The handler kills the monitor and calls all agents to prepare for battle. A blue light appears on the screen from Sissy and Carl's bond. The Academy learns they are being mistaken for terrorists involved in Kennedy's assassination. Vanya, suspecting Harlan has a problem, and the others go to Sissy's farm. The handler arrives with the commission agents' army, but Vanya kills them all. Lila shows she can mirror the Academy's powers, and they realize she is one of the 43 children born that day. The handler had ordered Five to kill Lila's parents to keep her for herself. The Academy reveals the truth to Lila, who then kills AJ. Young Five and Old Five fight, and then Old Five goes to 2019, the start of Season 1. Meanwhile, the time-traveling briefcase is destroyed. As the season ends, the siblings are in 2019 and learn they are in a new timeline. Everything they once knew has changed, and they must adapt to this new reality.